Something that they should know. I got a boyfriend. No, I'm kidding. I'm just playing.
So one thing I would like to tell Caribbean or Black parents is that these generational curses have to stop. Like childhood trauma, and you thinking that this is okay, like this is who I am, and this is how I'm gonna stay, that have to stop. Just that.
I'd like to see all their report cards because apparently a lot of them were the smartest.
Something that you know to be scared to an African parent. Shit, I mean, nobody can tell an African parent I'm pregnant. Are you dumb? Especially if you're not married. You rather leave them a note instead of telling African parents you're pregnant and not married. Are you crazy? But yeah.
One thing that you want to tell an African parent.
They're not always right. Like when they feel like everything they say is the way of. For example, even Fadi, when she started singing, like my parents were cool with it, but you know the uncles in them, they're like, oh, it's haram, you're not gonna go nowhere with it, like you're not gonna do nothing with it, you're not gonna get money off of it. But as soon as you start getting money, now everybody's hopping on your wave type of thing. So it's like, it's not only being a doctor or like the only way, so yeah.
For starters, you can't cage your kids, one, because we're going to do whatever we want to do at the end of the day, at your front, at your back, regardless. You can't stop us. We go to school. You cannot be watching me in school. I tell you I have a 9 p.m. class, what do you want to do about it? I'm going to have my 9 p.m. class. Maybe it's in the boys' house, at a party, in the club. I don't do that though, mommy, in case you watch it.
I guess to not be so hard on me and like strict because I'm responsible and you should trust that you raise me well.
To be teachable. I think that a lot of older, well, at least my mom's generation, I think back to my mom and the way that her friends and her sisters are, and I think that it would be to be teachable, you know, to understand that you're not always right. I mean, that goes to anybody, but I think more importantly them, because literally, like when you're older, our thoughts essentially are our core beliefs and repeated patterns and stuff like that is, you know, it all ties together. So they are stuck in their ways, not by fault. But I think that you can be stuck in your ways, and you can't be stuck in your ways and be teachable. So I think, yeah.
I mean, you can't talk about sex. You can't talk about relationships. You can't talk about boys. You can't talk about anything that doesn't have to do with school, degree, and getting a job. So like everything else outside of those things, like I have questions, so many questions. I want to ask my parents, like how do they even like meet and get married? But I feel like it's like an awkward conversation because then Africans, they look at you like, why you want to know? Like every time you try to ask them something, especially like your dad, he'll be like, why you want to know? Because I'm interested. Like,
to be honest, like my mom, I tell everything. My dad, not so much. But I want to tell him, you ain't S, but you know. Yeah, but I can't say it. Some camera.
What?
He did.
Your dad watching it, so no.
He doesn't know what S means.
It's okay for you to apologize to your children. It's okay for you as a parent to go to your child and apologize for wrongdoing them.
African parents need to be more close to their children, because that's one thing we lack. Because like most of us grow up without, like, we can't even say I love you to our dads and moms. That's like one important thing. I never say I love you to my mom or my dad. What do you mean, mom? You see? Because we want to say it, but we don't know how we're going to say it though. So.
African parents, please connect with your children. Please try to understand where they're coming from, their feelings, just communicate with them, because you guys don't really talk to get to know them and assume for them.
Not everybody wants to be a lawyer or a doctor, or not everybody wants to get into the medical field. You don't want to do bio.
It's okay to be protective, but you can do it to an extent where it doesn't make you feel like you're smothering your children. Stop smothering your children. That's all I have to say.
People are born their sexuality. Like if somebody
If somebody is gay, they were born that way. If somebody is bisexual, they were born that way, and it's okay.
And they need to give the kids more freedom instead of covering them in the house for too long. In the sense of when they go out, don't call them every 5 seconds.
Yeah, let us breathe. That's valid. I mean, I think African culture does its part, like in grooming a child well enough, so they shouldn't be too bothered. You know, it gets to a stage where like certain things kids need to learn on their own. They don't get to learn.
You're not always right. Like you're dead wrong sometimes. A lot of the times.
Stop beating your children, like abusively. Feel me? Fair?
My family had pretty much of an open relationship, so I pretty much tell them everything. But if I could tell them something, it would be mind your own business.
I feel like African parents need to chill sometimes because they believe because you dress some certain ways, you act some certain ways, you have this hairstyle, earring, they think you're like a bad person sometimes, or you're a bad guy or something like that. But sometimes it's okay to allow your kids to express themselves the way they want to express themselves, and just try to get to know them for who they are and not what you think they should be. Because African parents just be like, or is it how you act the way I want you to act, or you leave my house? Bro, I want to act the way I want to act sometimes. I want to be free to do what I want to do sometimes. Just leave me alone and let me be me. And I'll be a good person the best way I can. But African parents don't give you that freedom.